Hello and welcome to this video about the Syncplicity Outlook add-in, where we're going to tell you a little bit more how you can replace and protect email attachments in Outlook. We are going to discuss a few use cases. One of these use cases is, for example, one of these use case scenarios is don't change the way I work today, where we're going to explain how users can have their email attachments protected without any user intervention, which actually means I don't need to learn a new product. It's going to be super easy for me to use this new functionality. The solution overview is as follows. Many times we create emails with attachments to them. In fact, with Syncplicity, we're going to replace these email attachments with shared links. The files themselves will be uploaded into Syncplicity and they will be replaced with links. URLs, which we call secured shared links. That means that the email that leaves your organization no longer contains the attachments, but instead contains links. The benefit for that is, of course, you also save a lot of storage on your Exchange servers, but you also have more control about the attachments, the files that you're going to share with others. When people want to access the files, they simply click on the links and then the file will be downloaded to their computer. Super simple. Let us show that in a demo. In the next scenario, we're going to show you how you can expire attachments. Actually, you're going to expire the shared links that were shared with the recipients. So if we come back to our solution overview, actually what you're going to do is in Syncplicity, you say the shared links that I created for that recipient are no longer there. They're no longer available. I'm going to expire those links. And that means when the recipient would click on the link, he will no longer have access to these files. He will no longer be able to download the files behind the shared links. Now that we have shown you how easy it is to send files using email, you can actually use Outlook also for exchanging very large files using Outlook. This means that files are not stored in your email system and you can send any file of any size, such as video files, CAD drawings, ISO images, or VMware images. All files can be exchanged thanks to email. All files can be exchanged as shared links via email. In Syncplicity, everything is controlled by security policies. And these security policies are also allowing us, to protect the files that I'm sharing via email. I can, for example, require the recipient to log in, require the recipient to enter a password, or expire the link that I'm sending in, or expire the link using a retention period. One of these examples I'm going to show here by requiring the recipient to log in. That means that the information is protected and only the recipient, the designated recipient, can download the files. So when I'm sharing this file as a link to my partner can access the files in the email. But what if I have a partner who is not that loyal and forwards my email to a competitor? In that case, the link that were designed for partner.com will not work for competitor.com. So my competitor is not able to download the file. Only the designated recipient can access my files. This also helps me to expire information, which is not possible with standard email. When I'm sharing the file via email attachment as a link, my partner, who I've sent a mail on September 1st but forgets to access the file and only opens the file on 29th of September, well, that passed my expiration period, and therefore when he tries to access the file will actually already have been expired and he can no longer download the file. So with that, I can also time bomb the information that I'm sharing with externals. At the end of the day, security is one thing. Most important for end users, it is how user-friendly is this solution. Because ease of use means adoption. If a product is not user-friendly, people will not adopt, will not use it. And actually you're paying for something that users don't use. So when I want to share information via Outlook, how do I do this with SharePoint or OneDrive? First of all, I will create my email. Then I need to know where my files are. Are they either in SharePoint when it's project related, or are they somewhere in OneDrive when it is my personal files or some files that I shared? I need to navigate to that location. Unfortunately, I can do only one file at the time. Create the link. If it's an external person, I need to copy paste the email address in some way. Finish the link. Copy that link to my email and then go back for each additional file that I want to add to my email as well. Pretty cumbersome. So I'm going to create a new email to peterred@xraysyncplicity.com and I will add some attachments. And now in this case my attachments are somewhere in either Outlook, either in OneDrive or in SharePoint. So actually I need to know already where my files are. Are they in SharePoint in a certain project site? Then they should be here, or for customer B, they should be probably there. These are SharePoint sites. Or my files could be somewhere in OneDrive. For me, it's not clear where my files are, but luckily I knew that my files were in OneDrive. So if I want to share the files from here, I cannot create links from multiple files at once. So the only option for me is to create links one by one. And I need to copy the email address from my address book, or I need to know how to write the email address, which I'm not gonna do. So I need to copy the email address. Then, you see me struggling already. I need to share it with that person. Copy the link. Yeah, and put it here. And then the other file, I'm gonna do exactly the same. Only person have access. Yeah, I want to share. Oh, damn. I lost the email address. Let me go back. Copy the email address. Thank you. Copy the link. Copy the link. Great, and then the last one, that would be this one, share Peter Red, please. Still doesn't know my email address. It still doesn't remember my email address. I'm gonna copy it one more time. Great, and please copy that link as well. Excellent, and there I am. So after a long time, I have been able to copy my URLs in this email. Great, so I can send it, and it took me 2 minutes and something to create that email. You saw me how long it took to create that email using OneDrive or SharePoint. Now let us show you how simple it is in Syncplicity. You just create an email, you add your files, and you send your email. That's it. I will now create exactly the same email, but now using Syncplicity. You still see here the email that I sent previously with the SharePoint links. Enter the name of the recipient. And the subject of the email, documents for project. I can still add my files as I've done before. I can still navigate to my location where I store my files, and here I can add the 3 files. That's not a problem. Syncplicity will suggest if I would like to send the files using Syncplicity. Now let's not do that for a second. Let's assume that the files are not in Syncplicity yet. Then I can use still this button, and I can navigate to my folder, select the files, and you see the files are immediately here, and when I press send, the files will be sent as Syncplicity attachments. The files will be sent as shared links pointing to my original documents. It is immediately very clear to the recipient what he needs to do. He needs to log into Syncplicity in order to access the files, and also you see that the links will expire in a couple of days. Finally, as the recipient's perspective, you see first the email that I received from Bob using the links pointing to something in OneDrive, but actually it's not. It points to something that looks like SharePoint, and the email that's being sent via Syncplicity, where you have a much nicer view of, first of all, what is being shared with you. You see the attachments, you see what you need to do. Bob Blue requires Peter to log into Syncplicity in order to access the files. It also warns that the links will expire, and this actually gives also a much easier user interface to access the files and download them. And download them to where in SharePoint you as the recipient need to have that additional verification code to make sure that you are the owner of the email. Open the email, and then only when you've accessed the code you can access your files.